So, welcome to the Digital Maddie Show with your host and host Miithyl, a pod made exclusively for solopreneurs, artists, and coaches who wants to build their digital empire. With 15 plus years of business experience, I cover topics on personal branding, content creation, and digital marketing on this show and invite many experts who share the same passion like mine. Today, I have a special guest on the show, and I'm super excited to have her. So, her name is Irina, and she is a SaaS founder and a business consultant who specializes in operation and processes optimization. And she helps design systems out of the right people, process, and tools. And I'm super excited because she has a wide range of experience in e-commerce, from running a fulfillment center in China. I'm like, literally, she lived there for 2.5 years, to launching her own software, TrackMage.com, for package tracking. Also, she loves to share tips on growing e-commerce company, optimize their processes, and stand out in a highly competitive market. So, if you have any questions, feel free to drop down. If you're watching this as a video, and if you're listening as a podcast, you can DM us on Instagram, and I would request Irina to also reply back if possible. And she loves talking about entrepreneurship, leadership, management strategies that work across industries. So, without wasting much of our time, let's bring on to the stage Irina.
Hey, thank you very much for a warm welcome, and would love to share whatever your audience is interested in.
Awesome, awesome. So, Irina, I would request you to share your backstory with all of us so that people are listening to this episode, they can connect with you much better. So,
Oh, yeah, would be glad to. So my story started like very typical entrepreneurial story. Like I got tired of working in a 9 to 5 job where I was selling frozen berries in bulk internationally. At some point, I just thought that I knew everything about the business, and I decided to move to China with my husband and start a business there. So that wasn't a very typical decision, but I wouldn't say that it was a very thought through decision as well. So when we started that business, we didn't know what we will be dealing with. We thought that we're going to come to China and find the best suppliers or cheaper iPhones, and then we will be able to make a lot of money. Unfortunately, that wasn't the true experience. And when we came there, we realized that suppliers are great, but then we need to find customers. And that's when we started actually figuring out the sales part and even the marketing. And after that, the business only lasted for 2.5 years. It was a very exhausting endeavor where we had to pack all the goods, we had to ship it all over the world, and we had to communicate with hundreds of customers. So everything was just solely resting on my shoulders and my partner's shoulders. And after the business was over, when we moved out of China, we spent 4 years freelancing and helping other businesses optimize their processes and automate most of the things that we had to deal with in China. Because there were only two of us in that fulfillment center, but still we had to manage the workload of 10 people plus. So we had to build all those automated systems. So when we left China, we were no longer operating that software. But we thought that it's going to be a really beneficial for the market to have all those tools available for all those entrepreneurs who are starting an e-commerce business and they are not ready for all the operations and everything that they need to do to make sure that their business is actually producing good results and that their customers are happy. So that's how we ended up with starting a software as a service that is based on all our experience in China and all the software that we built for ourselves. That's how TrackMage was born. Original name was TrackMagic, where we wanted to just appeal to this like magical automation that is going to track all the packages. But then later we had to choose a different name because the trackmagic.com was not available. So that's how we became TrackMage. And that's how we stayed TrackMage for the last 5 years.
wow, like whether it is magic or whether it is mage, they are both connected to each other. So, basically, what I
Yes,
have heard is, like, it is the mages who create the magic.
sure. Yeah, that's exactly our thinking. But Unfortunately, sometimes people just cannot connect. And they say like meɪģ, what it is? Is it Magento? Like, no, it's not Magento. But we do plan to create an integration with Magento as well. Yeah.
Lovely. So, Irina, since you have been part of the e-commerce for a very long time, and based on your experience, I'm super excited to ask a couple of questions, because when I work with a lot of e-commerce, uh, you know, or startups or founders with content marketing, but there are things that always keep on popping up, and I see that these are the things that they are not doing. And one of them is when it comes to customers giving reviews, right? And there is always a struggle by this founders and all the e-commerce people, that how can we improve the product review, so that they can enhance it much better, as well as the, and eventually you will also get the customer review in a much positive manner. So can you throw some light on how can we improve our own product reviews?
Yeah, that's a very important question because when it comes to reviews, most businesses they are missing the opportunities to even ask for reviews. So that's the problem with the approach, where you think that your customer is going to come to your store and go to the product page and leave a review. They are going to do this only in one case, when uh, they are absolutely livid with their experience. Like if they're very disappointed, this is when they're going to find any place where we can post a review and they're going to spread the word. But this is not the kind of review that's going to improve your overall review score. And to combat that, you have to ask the other 5 customers that had perfect experience with your brand to leave a review as well. So what we have noticed is that like the typical conversion to reviews on every e-commerce store is around like 1 or 2%. What we have noticed is that if you properly time the request for the review after the shipment was actually delivered, you get the flipping 20% conversion to review. So what we had experienced with one of our customers, they are a YouTube influencer, Metal Family. They are creating their own cartoon, and they launched their own comic book, and that was like the huge launch, and they were not prepared to handle all the demand that was coming. So from 10,000 shipments that they sent, 2,150 customers left a review just because they were asked at the right time. That's a 20% conversion to reviews. And we have not incentivized those customers to leave a review. We just asked them at the right time. Exactly at the point when they received the package, they opened it, they are very excited, and that's when they ask for a review. And that's why the conversion was so much higher. And basically, it's like 4 times higher than the average. So that's how you can combat the negative reviews or overall improve your reviews. You just need to ask the other 5 customers to leave a good review. Because again, for credibility purposes, you shouldn't hide all the negative reviews as well. So there is always going to be somebody who is not going to be happy about your product, or who is going to have a bad experience with the carrier performance, or with something going wrong with the customs, or maybe a delay due to some unforeseen circumstances. It's absolutely normal. And but to not have like a solid 1-star review, because all the reviews, if you're not asking, they're always going to be only negative. You have to ask all the customers to leave a review, because the positive experiences, uh, even if people are delighted to share them, if they're not asked, they're not going to bother. We're just very happy, and they will not leave a review unless they are asked.
This is actually powerful, and this is something when we have this is being defined as being at the right time at the right place. That's when you can get the reviews, and this is where because people consider reviews only as the selling point, but people who are very serious with their brand, reviews are something which is like a feedback also, so they can improvise it and they can bring it to the next customer who's coming back, so that they can delight them in the much better way. And because of this, Irina, the next question that I always think, because this is something that I always love to explore, and I try to get a lot of bulbon moments when I see many brands doing this. Unfortunately, not everyone is doing it. So, a very simple question, Irina: how to create the best post purchase experience for your customer?
Well, the approach to the post-purchase experience should be from the point of understanding how the customers actually interact with the brand. So the first point of contact usually is on social media or some kind of promotion when they come to the store and they are enticed enough to place an order. And up to this point, until they place the order, they are the active participant of the process. So they have come to your social media page, they have clicked on the product page, they have placed the order, they have selected all the characteristics of the product. But then once they click the buy button, then they have to become a passive participant. If they are very excited, if they are very interested in receiving that package, they are going to be interested in every update about the order. And especially in those cases where they are ordering presents for their loved ones. Especially this is true when you are ordering products for Valentine's Day, and then you're just eagerly waiting, like, okay, is it going to be there before we put in or not? Or is it not going to be? And that's why customers, they check the tracking page or whatever information is provided. Every like we have seen some interesting statistics that the customers, they check those pages for 1 or 2 times per day, literally just like opening the morning email, going to the tracking page and seeing like where the order is. This is the typical routine of a customer who's waiting for the order. And after that, the brand needs to maintain the connection with the customer. They need to still continue communicating and not just sending additional promotions towards that customer, because this is not what the customer is interested in. They are interested in just updates about where the order is, when is it coming, are there any delays, what else is happening. And you can see, if you just Google something like "where is my order," you will see a lot of memes with Kermit staring out of a window, or some other characters just like me after like 5 seconds after placing the order. So what happens is that customers, they want to be an active participant. And what do customers do if you don't provide any information? So first of all, they go to your customer support and they start asking you like, okay, I have placed this order yesterday. Like, is it there yet? And then your customer support is just acting like a robot, where you have always to answer the same question, like, where is my order? Where is my order? Where's my order? And that's like great deal of customer support requests, up to 70% of the same stuff. So if you automate that part, and if you proactively answer the customer's question, you can not only eliminate all those 70% of requests, but also provide the customer something to do actively while we're waiting. So once the customer starts visiting the tracking page, typically brands redirect them to UPS, FedEx, DHL, or whatever. And there, you do not control the customer experience. You cannot even understand what the customer is doing on those pages. And it's basically you're gifting all this traffic to UPS. And UPS doesn't do anything with that traffic, literally. They provide the information, but they don't provide the best customer experience. In certain cases, I have seen that on UPS page, you see that the package is in transit, but you don't see the detailed information where exactly the package is. On TrackMage tracking pages, we always show where exactly the package is in the journey, and when is it going to arrive, like the estimated delivery date. So what also happens is that the customers, while we're waiting, they are very susceptible to additional offers. So when they are coming to the tracking page, they can see additional products, they can interact with social media, exactly the place where they came from when they placed the order, and that creates additional conversions. What we have seen is that from 5 to 10% of customers, they buy the second time before they even receive their first package from the brand. And that's a very interesting statistic because customer, like, they are so eager to receive the order that they are going to do something extra to just make sure that it comes. And the last resort, so if the customer doesn't receive all this communication, the last resort for the anxious customer is that they're going to place a refund. If you're not monitoring your PayPal or your other, maybe sometimes the customers, if we pay with a credit card, they can even place the chargeback. So if you're not monitoring your payment statistics, sometimes you will not even see if a customer actually took their money out. And you still have to ship everything, and you still have to provide the product. But this is a surefire way to lose money. So that's why just providing proactive updates about the shipment and maintaining the constant communication with the customer after the purchase is a very crucial step. This is how you build a relationship with a customer. And later, if a customer had the perfect customer experience, they are going to leave you a glaring review, and they are going to be willing to share that review on social media, where you will get additional traffic back to your store.
This is actually golden nugget, Irina, that you have shared, because these are many of the things that you shared. Even personally, I have seen, because the moment I get an SMS or an email with a tracking ID, the thing on I think on a whole day I'm gonna go to that link at least 5 to 6 times just to see where it is, where it is, where it is, where it is. Has it reached? And yes, if I'm trying to order something from a long distance, then the service providers like UPS or DHL. So when they, there are kind of loopholes where there is a missing information, that has made me also panic whether I lost the package, whether it is getting received, where if I'm gifting it to someone, is it actually going there, will it reach on time? So these are actually opportunities, if you see. And I think that's what has been seen as an opportunity by TrackMage, because it's a software which does so beautifully, and it tries to connect all the dots so that the customer, for waiting for the order, gets all the latest updates as it is supposed to be. Am I correct?
Yeah. Of course. And we have been seeing that over big platforms like eBay, Amazon, we're always capitalizing on this interest of the customer. Whenever the customer comes back to the platform, there is always additional products that they should buy. The downside of actually using Amazon or eBay or AliExpress even is that you do not control what kind of products your customers will be seeing. They will not be just seeing your store. They will be seeing all the products on the platform. And it doesn't mean that the customer is going to buy your product when they come back. But if you're using your own store, like WooCommerce or Shopify or even ClickFunnels, you will be able to understand and show the customers the products that they will be tempted to buy. And if you have some special promotions for that customer, that even increases the conversion higher, because people love sales. If you have something on sale or you have some special offer that is going away with a limited time, that's also going to tempt customers to buy something.
Awesome, Irina. So, Irina, since if we are able to give them a best post-purchase experience to the customers, so one thing that I have seen, that almost everyone tries to work so hard for getting new customers, and in that bargain they try to maybe neglect or ignore the existing customers. But then I have seen is money is in the follow up. So if you always take care of your existing customers, the repeat order, the possibility of getting the repeat order from your existing customers is higher than the new customer. So as per you, how to get extra sales from the existing customer?
Yes. As you mentioned, the possibility to selling to an existing customer is much higher than to the customer that you have just acquired. And the customer acquisition costs 5 times more than retaining one existing customer. So literally, we have seen that statistic everywhere. Like it's much cheaper to retain your customers than to acquire new ones. So what happens when you are persuading the customer to buy from you the second time? The possibility of them buying from you again is 27% higher. So it's like 127% that of a cold prospect. So if the customer is just like seeing you for the first time, the possibility is around like 88%. But then it just jumps up to like 27%. If you persuade them to buy from you 2 times, the possibility to sell to them jumps up by 47%. and the third time by 57%. So after the third purchase from your store, you have a customer for life. And that's just the statistic. Another thing would be that to get extra sales from existing customers, you just need to maintain the communication with those customers and present interesting offers to them. Because if you're just selling a mono product, let's say you're selling some kind of hat with a logo, you will not be able to sell them more than one, maybe a couple, if we're selling, if we're going to gift it to their friends. So you should always understand how the customers buy. So if you're selling a mono product, think of something that is going to be complementary to that product, and then show that as additional upsells or cross sells. Also, bundles work really well, or some kind of consumable products that you are going to be tossing in, especially if you have some kind of content creation business. Where you have content and you have passionate audience that love to do specific thing. Let's say they're into gaming. You might be selling the gaming gear. You might be selling some interesting apparel products that are going to have like game logos or something like that. Or you could always come up with something that is going to be related to just your brand specifically. So the merchandise with your logo. So that's how you can create the continuous loop where the customer never leaves the business truly. They are still continuing to buy again and again. Marketers train us in this mentality that everything is a funnel. So first you just get as much customers as you can on the top of a funnel, and then they go to the middle of the funnel, and then they convert. What we don't mention is that after the conversion stage, that customer is already loyal to your brand. And it's a waste to let them go away. It's a waste not to follow up and let them return back to the top of the funnel. And that's how we have reframed. Actually, it wasn't our idea. We have followed the model that was introduced by HubSpot. HubSpot calls this model the flywheel, where customer support and everything that happens after the purchase is becoming a part of marketing. And that's how you turn the funnel, that just like kind of drops customers at the bottom, into lifelong fans that continue to stay with the business forever. That's how you turn your funnel into a flywheel. And the more customers you have there, the bigger the flywheel and the bigger the flywheel effect. Because the faster you spin it, the more money you make.
The way you explained it, it looks so simple. I'm sure it will take some time, but yes, if followed in the right way, this is where the actual money is. And very rightly said, Irina. Thank you so much for this. So, Irina, with this, we come to the end of the phase one of the interview. And phase two is all about rapid fire round. And in rapid fire round, I'm going to ask you 5 questions where you won't get time to think. Whatever comes in your mind, you just have to share it with us. So, are you ready?
I was born ready. Let's do it.
Awesome. So let me make it intense. Let me zoom a little bit. All right. So, okay, let's go ahead with the very first question. All right. Who do you admire the most?
This is going to be uncanny answer. I like one YouTube creator. His pseudonym is Markiplier. I like that guy. I find a lot of similarities between what he's doing and what we're doing.
Awesome. Second question: what is the one thing that you would like to put on your bucket list in 2023?
I guess growing our business to at least to at least 10,000 customers, like 10,000 recurring customers. So like right now we're still growing, and I definitely have been at this for too long. So I need to make it work.
Awesome. Can you describe yourself in 3 words?
Creative, crazy, and freedom oriented. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Fourth one is who is your favorite cartoon character and why?
There is a list, whole list of cartoon characters, but one of the first ones, and I wouldn't even call that character cartoon because he comes from comics. So that's the mask. And the original one with like all the gory details and like all those fairy tales, they have even the Brother Grimm. They have like this backstory with a lot of blood and etc. So that's what is really interesting about all the cartoon characters that we get today. Some of them they have very dark origins.
Even Mask was one of my favorite, and his famous dialogue was "Somebody stop me."
Yes, somebody's. Yes.
Awesome. So, all right, the fifth one is very powerful one. Who is your favorite superhero and why?
Hmm. Well, I guess that would be the same answer, but I could toss in some more characters, maybe like Deadpool. Again, the comic book one, because whenever they try to make it family friendly, they're losing all the allure. I typically I like about Deadpool that arc about him discovering the will to live just to piss everyone else off because he just like if you read the original comic book he doesn't want to live. He's actually in love with death and he wants to die, but then he just cannot let that guy win, and that's why he comes back to life, and then he cannot die because like yeah, the healing factor he cannot.
Absolutely. Like that's the one wish that he might not ever have. Like that's
Well, actually, the character is too popular. Like even Deadpool dies, he's resurrected anymore. Like it just doesn't matter
true.
to the multiverse. Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you, Irina, for a lovely rapid fire round. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was fun. Definitely.
Cool, cool. So, Irina, all the people who are, either listening as a podcast or watching as a video, if they want to connect with you or, to understand more about TrackMage, how can they do that?
Ideally, we should go to trackmage.com and actually, there is a free resource that we offer to everyone. It is available on trackmage.com/flywheel extra sales, where you can download the guide on how to get 5 to 10% extra sales from existing customers without spending more money on ads or hiring more staff. That's where you should go to download the resource, and it's going to teach you all the steps to take to make sure that you have extra sales. And come to our website trackmage.com. Also you can find us on all the social media with at trackmage handle, so welcome to follow us there.
So you will be able to find all the links in the description. So do check it out and do connect with such a wonderful, SaaS service, because this is something which is very, very important into the world of e-commerce, and definitely this is definitely going to create more magic. So please do track your magic with TrackMage. And Irina, before we sign off for today, what is that one message that you wish to give to all the people who are listening to this episode?
The one message that probably I hope I was able to communicate is that pay attention to your customer journey. Make sure that you always have something that happens with your customer, and it's not just the continuous silence from your brand after they make a purchase, because that also triggers like the buyer's remorse. It triggers some interesting situations where the customer refunds. So don't leave them hanging. Always provide proactive communication, and that solves all those problems. It doesn't even solve, it prevents those problems from happening. And TrackMage is happy to help with everything that is related to e-commerce businesses. With our businesses, we cannot help that much, but there is some functionality that you can use in your coaching or consulting business.
Thank you so much once again, Irina, for being a guest on the show, and looking forward to connecting with you and inviting you once again on this particular show and trying to explore more possibilities of how anyone can grow their e-commerce business. Looking forward for it.
Mm. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Most welcome. Most welcome. So you have just listened to the Digital Money Show with your host Miithyl. Thank you so much for listening to our show and giving so much love. Don't forget to subscribe to our show on the podcast that you are listening to, as well as if you're watching on any of the video platform, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. This is Miithyl signing off with Irina right now. Until next time, meet you soon with another guest and their exciting story. But until then, keep rocking, stay safe, and don't forget to keep creating content. Ciao.